This is a copper spoon that I made a while back, and this is a spoon I just made for a friend of the channel, Don Moore. He's a conceptual artist, and so he wanted me to make a longer spoon and to bend that in a circular shape. So there it is, a roughly 7-inch diameter circular copper spoon. So I cut the spoon from this flat copper stock here. So this video is not mainly about this spoon, but here's a few pics to just give you an idea of the process. I used my angle grinder with a cutoff disc to cut out the copper spoon from that flat, and I had a lot of this copper dust or granules all over. And so I swept up some, and I want to use that to do sort of a copper inlay or maybe copper inset. So it's copper, but it's also full of steel scale or whatever else is on the floor. So I use a magnet to remove anything that's magnetic. I need to give a big shout out to Stephen Watkins and James Dunn for their recent generous donations. A lot of good folks have been attracted to my channel, and I'm very appreciative. Thanks. I have some projects where I'd like to have my logo mark inset with copper and level with the surface of the steel. I did this a while back, but I guess you could call this a second trial run. I could have probably just put the copper right on the hot steel rather than let it cool, but I wanted to remove any heavy scale just to see. I'm not using any flux, and you want to make sure that you just have copper and not any other impurities, or this really won't work. I'm careful to see if the blast from the forge blows the dust away. Luckily, it doesn't. If you wanted impurity-free granules, use a file, and this way you can avoid the cut-off disc particles, which are not magnetic. Another good option might be to place a thin strip of copper on the heated piece like this. The copper has melted and should have filled the recesses of the logo mark. It's starting to kinda become visible. It's okay, but I need to dull down the shiny steel some. That's obviously much better. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and as you know, we've got a lot more fooling around to do.